A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers. Shout out Buffet too. To the overthinkers. Shout out.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke kuphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siyakhula yazini as
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Mokwena. I'm your host, and this is the place for us to speak football, especially that of local football, African football, and then every now and then we go overseas and look at what's happening in Europe. Tonight is going to be the Ballon d'Or Awards, so we'll see what's going to happen on that side. But on pressing matters here at home, we're going to be discussing what happened over the weekend. The big three was playing. We had Kaizer Chiefs, we had Orlando Pirates, we had Mamelodi Sundowns, and we're going to do Banyana Banyana as well for today. They played versus Denmark and lost 5-0. So those are the four things we're going to be covering tonight. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome, firstly. But then also, the show is done every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. And if you want to watch any of my previous lives, any of them, they are available in full on YouTube, where you can watch them and listen to what we had spoken about before. It's not just reviewing matches, it's not just doing those type of things. It also means that that you can watch other things where we've discussed really big topics. So that is also available. So please, if it's the first time here, follow and like the content. I'm dropping content today. I dropped my Monday review show, my Monday review comedy show on YouTube right now. So please check it out. Just telling you what happened over the weekend, and you can check it out there. There's also a WhatsApp group, a full WhatsApp group where we are there day in, day out. If you want to join it, you have to go on over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join, and then you'll be able to jump into the WhatsApp group. The link is in the members area, and we'll go there. Today we are starting with Kaizer Chiefs. That is where we're going to start today with the show. So Kaizer Chiefs is played versus SuperSport United. So oh yes, guys, please feel free to request, but you have to be following me. Interactive show, you can jump in and add your voice. But we're going to start with Kaizer Chiefs. So those requesting, we're going to be speaking about Kaizer Chiefs. Okay, so Kaizer Chiefs played SuperSport United at the new Pitso Mosimane Stadium. As you know, last week we played against the SuperSport and beat them 4-0. But this time around, we didn't have the same type of luck. So 8 shots from SuperSport, 1 on target, 14 shots from Kaizer Chiefs, 3 on target, 65% possession from Kaizer Chiefs, 35% possession from SuperSport, 243 passes by SuperSport, and then 462 by Kaizer Chiefs. So please, feel free to jump in. Let's have a conversation about first the Kaizer Chiefs, then we're gonna go Sundowns, then we're gonna go to Banyana Banyana, and we'll finish off with Mamelodi Sundowns. So please feel free to request. Kaizer Chiefs fans, how? Ngizayvala guys if anifuna ukungena. Anyway, Kaizer Chiefs went out to play. I think this game was one of the games where SuperSport went back to what they normally play. They sat back, they were in structure. The goal came from a transition cross in, and that is how they scored their goal versus Kaizer Chiefs. They didn't do that thing of trying to play pound for pound, having Vincent Pule come out and trying to put the ball on the floor. They went back to old SuperSport. Now, this game has a lot of questions that I have to ask for this game. For example, now we see that in as much as our attack is very strong, our defense ngatialeka, and our attack has been covering for the sins of the defense by scoring winning games on our behalf. But now, in a time when our attack was neutralized, our defense maybe was a little bit weak at times, and they gave away the goal that mattered. Now, the other question that we have is that of Sirino. What happens to Kaizer Chiefs if Sirino can't play? We saw him in the first half when he was taken off, and then of course in the second half, the youngsters did well. Abamfundo was Bambele, but they didn't have the type of experience, the type of, intelligence going forward, and I think that harmed them a little bit in that game. So those are two things, and maybe we should look at what might happen going forward. Is the low block going to do that? Hey, malume kusolini naki markets, makosi awatukena makosi. They don't want to jump in, so it's fine. What I'm gonna do is then jump to Mamelodi Sundowns. Let's talk Mamelodi Sundowns, guys. Since Chiefs fans they don't want to come in. Hey man, there's a tag. Hey, there's a tag. Polokwane City played against Mamelodi Sundowns at the other. At the other Pitso Mosimane Stadium, the older Pitso Mosimane Stadium, where Polokwane City beat Mamelodi Sundowns 1-0. 12 shots, 3 shots on target, and then 4 shots from Mamelodi Sundowns, none on target. That is how that game ended. 72% possession to Mamelodi Sundowns, and then Polokwane was able to only get a couple. We're going to be speaking Sundowns first. Do you know why? Yeah, do you know why? The Chiefs fans, man, they are shaking. Chiefs fans are shaking. Yeah, Chiefs fans are shaking. So it's fine. I may just not come back to Kaizer Chiefs at all as well. But let's go directly into Sundowns with the first panel then. And we go from there. Let's see who's here. Ungama, it's too late, man. We'll come back. Uskawar, I'll circle around. Lataba, eh? Okay, we're going Sundowns. Okay, Conti, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Mr. OT? Good evening to everyone and the listeners.
I'm disappointed in my fellow Cothis, but it's fine. We'll go with Sundowns first. Conti, 1-0 versus Polokwane City. How do you feel about the game that the Sundowns played?
A very difficult game. I was not even expecting that maybe we'll win. Why? Because Polokwane City has always given us trouble. Even last year with the Chameleon, if you could recall, we had won 11 straight wins, and Polokwane City was the team that stopped us from the winning train. We drew with them at Loftus. So it's a very difficult team for Sundowns because of the way they play, the way they organize. And I saw this time around they played 4-1-4. 4-1 formation where their center midfield, Kambala, he was assisting when Matuludi would go up, he would go and cover for him. And when also Nkwe was going up, he would cover for him on the left leg. Or whenever Umorena goes on the right wing, Nkwe was also being covered by this guy in midfield, Kampala. For me, he was man of the match, but they gave it to Nekani, who's the captain, and that guy Nekani, Oshapabat, So I think, and he scored a goal. So, and if you look at Polokwane City, they had 3. They could have scored more than 2 goals actually. Police played a nice through ball, and then they crossed it, and they should have scored that header, and they had other opportunities. I'm just concerned with Sundowns in terms of not so much of not creating opportunities, but I'm concerned with conceding also or with set pieces, because against Royal AM we conceded with a corner kick, and in this game we also conceded with a set piece as well. So just last thing that I want to say, in terms of creativity, I think not having Ribeiro and not having Zwane and Uneo Maema was on the bench and Mudiba there in midfield, I think we lack some creativity in the midfield to play those ball up front. But I think Coach Mangoba wanted to reward the young Mabena who played a great game during the week.
Tell me, Conti, I want to speak to you about that last part of games, because this is something that we've seen before, and we've had a little bit of a conversation saying that if Sundowns doesn't score early, they tend, man, after the 65th minute, they like to open up the game. And we saw Marumo Kellens play better, even though they were 4-1 down. We saw Chiefs maybe come back and make it a 2-2 at some point. Now we're seeing Polokwane being able to score late. What's happening to Sundowns late in games? That's making the game a little bit open for the last 30 minutes.
and it should be something of a concern because it didn't just start happening now. If you can also remember, even in the Champions League, it happened similar. Back-to-back Champions League, we conceded in the 80th minute, in the 75th minute against Esperance. So it's something they need to work on. I think it's a mentality a thing. We sort of we think we're done with the game and we've won it, whereas the game is still continuing. Those are very important times of the game towards the last 15 minutes. So I'm also concerned because even against Kaizer Chiefs, we dropped the ball and we didn't sort of push. Normally Sundowns, they have to show that they've been playing in Champions League by controlling the game more towards the end of the game, but they haven't been able to do that. They're losing concentration and we lost a lot of balls. So that's something that Mangoba has to work on.
How do you feel about his rotation policy right now?
His rotation policy, I'm not so much concerned. The only thing is that it has given 23 goals in 6 games and conceded now 3 goals, or not 4, I'm not sure. Yeah, but somewhere there. But what I would have liked to see from Coach Mangoba, he should rotate according to the team, the opponent. He shouldn't just rotate for the sake of rotating. Because what I've seen, he rotates because this week, on Wednesday, we are playing. On Saturday, we are playing. So he's just rotating because Wednesday you are playing. Saturday you are playing. And he's just rotating. He's not rotating according to which opponent you are facing. And that's my only worry. You see? So if on Saturday, say we are playing a strong opponent and during the week a strong opponent, try and keep your strong team. You don't have to really rotate. Keep your spinal cord, those strong, like now you brought back Mvala. Mvala has really improved, but now we didn't see him over the weekend. Kekana was also on the bench. And so I don't mind him rotating because you're giving the other players minutes, but don't rotate for the sake of rotating. Rotate because of the opponent you are facing.
Okay, let me bring you ASAP Shambe. Shambe, welcome to the show. How are you?
Utsineda, Mr. Utsi.
Man, I'm disappointed. My people are shaking. I don't know why, but anyway, Shambe, Polokwane beats Sundowns 1-0. How do you feel about that game?
Yeah, disappointed with the effort more than anything, besides the results. The efforts is what disappointed me the most. It seems to be a bit of lack of hunger there. I don't think this was necessarily the game to start Mabena or Murena and Utsiwana. I think this game needed warriors. It needed people who are going to craft it out. It needed Mudao. I think it needed Opri. Just for that krach. I think I don't want to say pushed over a bit too easily, but it felt like we were pushed into a corner and we couldn't come up with solutions to the questions that Polokwane was posing to us. And more than anything, congratulations to Polokwane for being such a team with so much resilience. I love what they do only when they're playing against Sundowns. I wish they can continue the consistency across the board, but like the previous speaker said, Ogutsi, I think Mangoba just needs to be careful with how he's rotating his players. But I do think that he had Wednesday's match on his mind, Wednesday and the weekend's match on his mind, that might have played tricks on his mind a little bit, that might have influenced some of the rotations he made. And Onyongo man, mega corner la pepalini, we seem to vuza magol kancane, ashikehla lethu man. We need a serious backup to Williams. Young seems to be uyavuza lapha emuva kancane. And Ulibusa struggles with strikers who bully him, who have muscle, who push back, which is a bit surprising considering he's a veteran and seasoned defender, But the thing that disappoints me the most isn't necessarily the scoreline, but the effort from the boys,
Yeah, can I ask you something? With the rotation, I know you spoke about the crack of maybe having Abu Opri and those type of players come in. But I want to ask you, is there also a problem with the personnel? That maybe now we see that Ribeiro, for example, needs to play with Matthews and Reyners, and then maybe Mokwena doesn't fit in that type of team. Maybe they should have another team with Shalulile. Do you match up? Do you think the rotation also has to match up the attributes of players as well?
Well, I think, Mr. Otsi, if we're going to be honest, is Mangoba is definitely open-minded to changing, and it is still very early in the season. So, if one thing that Mangoba has shown us since the beginning of the season, that he is open-minded to adjusting his lineup and figuring things out as they go. And figuring things out as they go, you know. So, I don't think we should put. I don't think we should be harsh, man, with this result, man. You know, I think we should still give this team some grace to figure things out. Because Samba, we adapting as we go. We're adapting as we go, and teams are also adapting to us as well. You know, so the thing that would compensate for us where we're lacking would be that mentality, which we're seeing with Pirates, where in those last couple of from 80 minutes to Gale, you're seeing the hunger come out. And I'd like to see that mentality, you know, that championship mentality, where even if that Real Madrid final cup game mentality, where even if you're playing badly, but you still have the ability to push through and get over the hurdle.
Shouldn't it be more of a control, maybe? Is the worry not necessarily the attacking, but more that in those last 30 minutes, man, there's a control that's lost, like, you know?
Yeah, man, I definitely do think that we give away the ball a bit too easily within those last couple of minutes of the game. There seems to be a complacency, and maybe it comes with the territory of winning a league 7 times in a row. You know, maybe we definitely did need this wake up call. Yo, like, Pirates is on our neck here. This seems to be their season where they want to go for it, and we cannot slip. We need championship mentality to come to the forefront. You know, yeah.
Okay, let me bring in Vuyo. Vuyo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, my brother, and how are you? Thank you for the opportunity.
Man, I'm good. Vuyo, tell me, how do you feel about the game that Sundowns played with Polokwane?
Sometimes OT, I'm trying to disrespect my coach, ne? But sometimes OT, as a former soccer player and as a coach, as I speak, there's certain things that I don't understand, OT.
Okay.
You know very well, Polokwane City, how stubborn it is.
Yeah.
You have video analysts to analyze the game. You know, when you play against a team like Polokwane City, you know what you're fighting for. The second ball, OT. You don't go toe to toe with them. You can't start the ball at the back. You don't play with Gutse. You don't play with Libusa. You don't play with the likes of the Rook. They are very slowly. You can't play with slowly against slowly. You need quick players.
Yeah.
You need the likes of Obas. When they are going to get a chance, you give Obas, you give this young boy Khoza an opportunity, the youngster, or the likes of Johannes, an opportunity to play. They are hungry, they are there. Because you know very well who are playing with who. The team that you're playing against is very stubborn. You press them high. Their second ball, you use them to score with the second ball. They are header because they are good in the area. You don't allow them to play. You focus, beside OT, the stadium does allow you to fit the way you want to play. The answer is no. The wind and everything. You put everything on the side and sit down. No. Today I'm going to play Toom, but I'm going to win the game. Yeah, sometimes OT, you take points with the hard way. You don't need to play fancy. You go with the way the stadium and everything fit you in. So I don't know, sometimes the question, do they understand the standard of the levels of the pitch? Because the pitch, if it doesn't allow you, the players that you have during that day, can they take you to that point that you want? The answer is no. Go there with a different mentality, OT. Go there with a draw. As a big team as Sundowns, if I don't get what I want, I'll take a draw and go home. Not a lose. And I'm telling you, OT, even today, if Sundowns that day, they go for Shalulile and Ribeiro, they make sure that they press them high. And then they kick the ball so that they can head. You see this team, they drop about 7 players when they defend. They always defend. They don't allow you spaces. You don't give them the ball. You let them defend the ball. When they defend the ball, you take the ball and you create those passages as quickly as you can. That's the only way OT for my side, because of it's not the first time Sundowns is throwing with Polokwane City. They always pack the pass. They are playing with 8 players at the back. What are you going to do with the low block?
I want to ask you something, Boyo. I want to ask you, when you look at the team, you're speaking about both salesmen, Lebo Shalulile. Should they be a completely separate team? So let's say if Ribero's not on the pitch and certain players are not on the pitch, you take them all out and you say, Abo Ribero, badlala nabo Reinas. And then Abo Mokwena, badlala nabo Sales and Shalulile. Should there be that type of separation at Sundowns?
I think they must have a opportunity to have a second team. Why? There is injury OT, there is yellow card, there is red card, there is such a... Even if Ribeiro was there, we were not going to play anything, because Ribeiro, remember, he was there when we played the last MTN 8. What happened? Yeah. Tembazone was there. What happened? I'm talking with a team that is very consistent what they are doing. It's not the first time they're doing it. So the answer is, what are you doing about it? I'm going to the stadium at the 6th next month, 6th November. We're playing against Polokwane on Wednesday. So I'm gonna watch the game and say, I want to see what is his plan, because you can't fail about Polokwane. No, not Polokwane. No, I know I can't take a lose from Polokwane. I refuse. I love Sundowns and I love the coach, but Polokwane, what is Polokwane? You take a draw there, not a lose. A lose, the answer is no, Oti. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, no, thank you. Let me go to Ubugani. Bugani, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Oti. How are you, my man?
No, I'm good. Tell me.
Great.
How did you feel about this game?
Not too good. I'll just keep it brief.
No stress. How do you feel about the game?
Look, as a Pirate supporter, I so wish this was happening with 3 games remaining in May, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to dream about that. No, look, Oti, Sundowns shouldn't take it too badly, you know, because looking at the whole circumstances, the pitch, and all the other factors surrounding the whole game itself, it wasn't too good for them. Because I still think if it was played into the main stadium, I think we could have seen a different flow of a game. I think we could have seen probably a different score as well. But other than that, it's a lesson they could learn from, you know. Just try to fix things up and just carry on with the thing. Look, it's better losing in October, man. Like that they shouldn't bash themselves in the heads right now. I'd rather, even for me as Pirates, I'd rather take the lose now than take a lose after February or March. You know, so they will get back into pace, and you know they will still carry on winning games as always. But on the other hand, I do foresee the Sundowns side maybe losing another 2 games this season. Of course, that's not gonna sound very nice to the supporters, the spoiled supporters, because like at the end of the day, the football matches are won or lost, and Mangoba has to just stick to his plan. But I think I saw a comment here, or previous caller saying that he's probably thinking of building his own winning squad, which I might think is a good idea, but I don't think he should go for that right now. You know, I think he should just carry on with the tried and tested, but just slowly in other matches try to introduce the younger fellas, or rotate the squads as maybe he wants to. But in essence and in general of the whole game, I didn't watch the whole game, I won't lie, but I do feel if it was played in the main stadium, it was going to be a different result, guys. The pitch just looked cloggy, and you know what it looked like that when teams go down to Stellies. What do you call it? That stadium in Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch. it's a headache playing there. It was that type of pitch, that type of game, basically. And obviously, Polokwane took advantage of that, being home, applying the pressure, and then and basically executing the plan because they looked more hungry, and they saw that Sundowns maybe on the back foot, and then in the end they got that goal which gave them a win. You know.
Okay, okay. I hear the delay a little bit there, so I'm going to move on. Let me bring in your agent. Agent, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good man. Why are you starting with us? Eh?
I started with Chiefs. I sat here for 5 minutes asking Chiefs, and they were just kazaling wherever they were. They don't want to come in.
So you're going to give us extra time. You have to give us extra time because we are here. So after this, what are you going to do?
No, we're going. There's still Banyana Banyana. There's still Pirates. There's still
Pirates first. No, it is Pirates first because they played first, and then it is Chiefs, and then it is Sundowns.
Winners finish shows. Winners finish shows. Agent, 1-0. How do you feel about this game?
Don't teach us, and then the exam you show us something different. No man, but First John 2 verse 19. They went from us, but they did not really belong to us. For if they belonged to us, they would have remained with us. But thou going show that none of them belong to us. So this loss is showing who are for us. And we can see now those who are not really for us. We see them, they're running naked in the street celebrating, even more than the enemies. So we know who now are the spies within. We know the moles within. Those who claim to be Sundowns fans, but are happier when we draw or lose. They're more happier than the enemies. So they're more of the enemies. First John 2 verse 19.
Karo, now you've gone a long way to say plastic fans, but it's fine.
I'm not gonna say that. No, but onto the game.
Yeah.
Polokwane City, like I said, I sincerely refuse the narration that the game was boring. I still refuse with it.
Yeah.
I believe it was a highly technical side, a technical game, and the better team which had more answers and even more harder questions, which was Polokwane City on the day one. It's as simple as that. The better team won, and in a game of football, you win, you lose, you draw. Today we lost, and like the great Sunshine said, we are not entitled to winning. So today the better team won, and remind you to answer your question. I'm just here for you to answer your question. I'm not going to analyze the game because I analyzed it at halftime. I talked about the pitch. I told we can play because of everything. I think those who were at halftime would have known that the Bambi pitch didn't allow us to play tiki-taka. The wind and the narrow pitch didn't allow us to play Route 1. So Coach Mangoba didn't have a plan C because plan A, which is speed football, was not working. Plan B, which is tiki-taka or piano and shoeshine, wasn't working. He didn't have plan C. So, and Mahale said that he knows Sundowns' weaknesses, and he came with it, and he succeeded, So Polokwane City on the day where the better side had the better answers. And mind you, I sent in a group that Pitso in 2018 lost twice to Polokwane City. During the co-coaching period, we lost to them also. Last year they were the first team to stop us from winning all our games with a draw. So it's a hoodoo team. In football, you always have a hoodoo team, and I reject the thing that we shouldn't have played this team, except for Mabena, yes. But this is our so-called better team.
Yeah.
Right. The other guys that you guys are suggesting, Shalile has been off. Would you bet your money Shalile scoring or making impact if you start Shalile? This man is just recovering from an injury. He just came from an injury. Can you really do you want to risk him? mind you, also the other team didn't perform well. Our Lodge, remember, we made 11 changes. Those 11 players didn't pitch up against Royal EM. We were here crying about that team. So the guy had to go back to the original team. And those who Ribeiro couldn't play because he was suspended. Matthews got injured. So the better team won, man.
But can I ask you something, Agent? Well, more tactically, I think my question becomes, do you force Reyners to stay on the pitch? For example, you play Reyners, you play him centrally. We've seen Reyners centrally go bafana. We've seen a couple of places that he goes missing, and I think the shots on target and all of that sort of goes to that. So would you rather separate the teams and then have Reyners play with Reyners people, and then maybe, I don't know, develop a plan B with the other players, if that makes sense? Is the mismatching rotation working, if that makes sense?
Isn't that what we have, though? Let's be honest. Isn't that what we have? That we have 2 separate 11s. Hence, we made 11 changes. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to build chemistry with the other 11. You need to build chemistry with the other 11.
But I mean, for example, Agent Onyango,
and we can't say because Ribeiro is missing, we want to abandon the whole 11 because of that. And if you abandon the whole 11 because of that, we go back to the other 11. The other 11, the 11 that didn't work. You really want to test it again.
Well, I mean it more in the sense of mixing them. So, for example, we saw Kutsia, we saw Allende, we saw Matthews, we saw Reyners, for example. That's usually from the other team, the winning one, the one that scores goals, not the last one. And then in the last one, we saw a mixture of other people coming in. And is that a good thing to not have set?
Can I refuse that? This is our winning team. Except Deruk, except Omar Ben. This is the team that we use.
And Morena, and Mabue, and Mabena. They're not the starters of the winning team.
This is our starters. Let me show you. I'm going to bring you... which game do you want me to show you? Babado Solo, Supersport, which one? Supersport. Okay, Supersport. On the lineup, Williams, Morena, Kekana, Libusa, Tiwani, Mabue, Kotie, Allende, Costa, Shaluli, Reyners.
But that was this one, the one that was played now.
Yes, it was
the most recent one.
Yes.
Go to your winning teams. Go to the 4-0 teams or the big high-scoring teams.
Okay, the 4-0, right? Which one? Let's take Baguma Gallant's one, right? Is it fine? Or Babana? Okay, let's go to
whichever one.
Okay. Williams, Morena, Kekana, Libuisa, Tiwani, Kotie, Allende, Mudiba, Ribeiro. Okay, you know that was the Baguma Gallant's one. Let's quickly check if we're running out of time, but yeah.
Anyway.
The Babana Solos one. First leg. It was Williams, Khoza, Libusa, Kotie, Mabue, Kekana, Allende, Costa. Yeah. So this was 11, man. Yeah. Or you can check.
Okay.
You can check after
no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. No, it's fine.
Yeah. So I just feel like the better team won, man. I don't know. One thing about Coach Mangoba, he's one lose always from being under pressure. I think he just has to win a cup to save himself. Because even if he can go 7 wins in a row, the moment he loses one, he's gonna go back to being pressured. You know? That's that, man. The other team won. And actually, on the last point, who do you think has the Sundowns? I know you made the comparison with Sereno, and I know you're saying it with banter, but a Sundowns is really a one-man team. And I think the one man that you mentioned was the wrong man. I think we're a one-man team because it's Williams. Or Williams is maybe the only one who knows how to fit this league.
Okay. That's all you have to know.
but we don't know how to play without Williams, and that's my worry. I see Ribeiro. Ribeiro can. I think had he played Miami there, we're gonna play still the same way, you know. But without Williams, we struggle. Eh? Yeah, thank you.
Okay. For time, guys, we're gonna go into Chiefs. I'm gonna try again. Chiefs fans, Kupa Likene, because I started this show got Chiefs and nobody jumped in for Chiefs. So if you are requesting now, please know that you're going to be speaking about Kaizer Chiefs. This is all I have to say about Mamelodi Sundowns. Maybe I'll concede on the starting lineup side. It is pretty much the team, but they haven't played the same way. So I think what hurt a lot of what Sundowns did versus Polokwane City as well was that Reyners was now playing as a 9. Matthews was playing as an 8, even sometimes going to the other side. You are missing the creativity of a Ribeiro. You don't have a Zwane there, for example, or somebody that can play in that pocket and actually distribute the ball up front. And I feel as though what tended to happen, and this is something similar with what happens with Kaizer Chiefs, what tended to happen was that I think the attack covers the sins of the defense. But as we've spoken about throughout all of the games that we watched of Mamelodi Sundowns up to this point, that there's the 35 minutes from 65, 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes from 60 minutes on, where they change he starts changing players, and the players that come in have energy. They're running, they do all that stuff, but it becomes a ping pong game. And like I said, Marumo Gallants looked better in that last 30 minutes, even though the work was done earlier on. Chiefs almost came back to get a draw because of the ping pong of the last minutes. Polokwane City scored now at the last minute, and because they couldn't do the work in the beginning, that meant that goal meant a lot more. So my thing is that Mangoba has to look out for that last 30 minutes. And for me, I don't think it's about adding players who are going to run more or play more or be harder. I think it's about controlling the game. I think that's where the chameleon and the 500 passes, you've scored 4 goals, shapang 500 passes to finish off the game so that you don't give the other team confidence. Because Royal AM could have scored, they scored the last late goal, and then there was a header they missed or something that would have made it 2-2, and now the result looks a bit different from the game. So that is all I am worried about, because I think they get their work done early. Mara finishing off, I care. But anyway, let me let in the others, guys. Remember, we're going to be talking Kaizer Chiefs right now. Kaizer Chiefs played versus SuperSport United in the rematch at Polokwane, in Polokwane at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. So please, Chiefs, the guys, Chiefs now. Then we're going to go into Banyana Banyana's game with Denmark, and we're going to end off with Orlando Pirates, who are the happy people here. So let me just bring in the people here. Let me go to guys. Kupari gift. Why today? Kiwana 0. Kupari gift, man. Kupari gift. Let me go to Prati. Prati, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, bro, Rujwa.
Hi, man. Disappointed. Let's have a again.
Ke la ta ke one ke tsera mbrauti yo re ke fitla ya no re ke gopotse ba go Pitori ke re Sundowns je lwe ga te Sundowns je lwe Pirates bone ke bara ke re di ke ga e win ka 5 games re santsa le rena 25 games e setseng pa Pirates brauti
what is my game pratika ba dile wa lo jilwe.
Hey, bro, now you are still cooking. The spice I see the Kaganya hand, so I don't know. Sarah Fella, Riki Rasa. Rebafs, Reveal Farana chance, Tartagamolo move. Yeah, we can there, Gavin Hunter on another plane, Brauti. Plane a half market, plane a Gavin Hunter in Lore. Adir. Akor atole early goal, then abakwala game because of wa wana na ntweni ba babuditse go ra re mabuditse Morris wena o tlo go dula go o tlo go dula ko pele wena that's why Morris o bone a thotse di offside tse di ngata so mo game because of ne ba targetile gore a kry one goal then ba kwala Chiefs ya kwala then bothata ba Chiefs ke la gore ebile after goal ele ya ba frustrated ba no ba tsa go tshameka ba tshimolla ba tshameka di long ball se ba latlhela di cross ya no ba sa tlhola ba tshameka di winner ba twetse ka teng and Marte medlelo wa rona o na le bothata ka Marte ke nana ke na le bothata ba Marte o tshwanetse a improve ya kere a tsamaya tshwanetse a improve because of no yana ne ke nagana gore o na le mmutinyana engwe strong e ngwana ba thola a kry-a chance ya go tshameka a ba go bala gore Marte a tse Marte o na le mmutinyana so e se le captain a re tse robile captain ya ba tla re tshepe gore o tla improve because of gone go di player di a improve ke ra tshepe gore o tla improve ka ba re ke mang Nabi o tla mo director mola le mo le gore a tshameke yang ba the way a tshameka ka teng le ena na le selo na le predictable wa bona ne ra tshwara bolo a ba batla go pasa di long bola a batla ba re ke mang a batla boduba kai duba enelene duba ke nagana gore he's not well developed because of and is a good player wa bona gore o ka improve mo le mo sa gagwe ke gore ne o batla go ha tshwere bolo ko flank o batla go sa gagwe ke gore o batla go cross sometimes o tshwanetse o cut inside bogolo o nne le goal on target wa bona at least ile ya go godimo re ya go thoko at least o zamile so but mo le mo ke nagana gore ka January na bi tshwanetse ba motholele at least ba re ke mang Apollo si or someone o muselo moving ga gore at least team in the balance wa bona because of no yana sere a siruno a timile gore our Chiefs e timile
ke yona ke batlang go botsa yona gore if team is ala low block ba men makasirino o tsore Chiefs a isale gaming you
I said you timile cause ba bona ba plan na mo go ene and the way game wa bona the way ne ba kwetse ka teng e ka re tlhoka re game ke utlo bua mala point e bo tlhoka gore tshwanetse re tshameke like game e open like ha ile open ba sa defend team e sa defend e attackang ke yone ka re kgona go tshameka ya no ha e defender ya no wa bona gore maybe mara ke tshepe gore ba re ke Manabi o ithutile o tla nna le plan B wa bona so mo le ke nagana gore gone sengwe sone se tla dira mara ha sire thole mara go bua nnete ke batla gore defender Chiefs ke re ba sa fela pelo man ba sa fela pelo ke la gore no yana na bina ba tla go tla go ithuta di player a bona bokwa ba team then after mo ke gone o tla bona gore re tla mo jaja maybe after two seasons gore okay se tsa ithutile le culture ya South Africa tshameka ya Chiefs tshameka yang so mare no yana re sa fela pelo re supporting team re tlo re loser season sa le tele re tlo go loser re tlo go wina re tlo go draw mo le re tlo go frustrate ga re nna because of a re na bia sa ithuta but a re mo fan chance a re mo supporting ka weekend ha re tla be re ja Masandawane re hetela ko di semi final bone ra baja gore re sokola go le kae ra baja and Masandawo se ke batla go ba botsa ngwana Masandawo se bona le bothata a ke sure gore defense di ku Sandawo se tse dingwe ba fena Sandawo gore ba fena Sandawo because of it ara gore a bra uti one losing yana ya la bile se tsibile ba go nya manqoba tshwanetse a tsamaye manqoba tshwanetse Sandawo se chila man mo le king bo Barcelona ba lose bona maloba ba re ke ma Real Madrid ke ni lose ni kelela maloba re lose 4-0 so ba ka tla go lela 1-0 nyana fela defense tsa tsa Sundowns aba tshepe manqoba ha ba re o feitse bogolo a feditse go top 3 kwa Sundowns khali wina league mara ke tshepa gore
okay
top 2 yone ba tla helele tsa ba le se go jaja manqoba Sundowns hai
na ko prati
Bona stress bra uti
Thank you, Prati. Black Viper, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm not this boss. Dinsa.
I get it game it's alone about two dudes, but it's fine. Black Viper. Kaizer Chiefs. 1-0 Super Sport. What is one game?
No, before I call ke dirile diphoso man ke kene groupung e wrong wa leso
Au.
so it's yena ya so tsena ba reng ke Black Viper monna ke le Pagania, but ke rata bolo ka plaka kaofela, ke tla
Okay.
bua hore ho etsahalang.
It's fine.
Yeah, tabeng e ya super sport ne. Narrative, like this narrative, it's man, because you can't expect KCR governant who lose the game 3-4 against these Soweto Giants. Like, it's painful. That game was personal for him. You could even see in his reaction, Hane final whistle blow over that man in fact, even if it's 1-0, ona I saw. So that I know about but Nahana the narrative ya that man or what's again if Nkeka loser against Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
That in fact it was here his career in shambles or like what am I going to do next? Who am I going to play next? Because now this man has been delivering silverwares in the recent years for this team as Alankayona, which is a Super Sport United. Now we must remember we net 3 consecutive titles, leagues, not just cups, leagues, consecutive times. Are kabata wana mapaganea le ma Chiefs are hulana is man. So nagina na ntwe tsalanga Chiefs ne they must first ba lokise the objectives tsa bona, like overall as season fela re batla eng. You can't just go into games or ke batla win the games, because now o seta di goals pele, what do I want at the end of this season? What do I need to do during the season? What is it that I need to accomplish at the end of the season? So na ke bone ka reng Kaizer Chiefs ha ba so decide what is it that they want to do overall this season. Ke nahana ba ile fela ka that hope ya o itwetsa hore no re batla bla batho kaofela, and which is not a correct thing to do, because now teams especially tse nyenyane for the likes of Richards Bay, you know, so bona no ba fasitse batho ba. Because you could even see game ya Polokwane City yesterday. Polokwane City ne fasitse against Mamelodi Sundowns yesterday. Like they never lokile batwana ka low blocks tsa bona, because they knew we don't have to win this game, but the moment you tlo fitla mo re tlo tryang win the game le ka game ya Pirates against Richards Bay. Re bona right Pirates ke win this game because who fela just a little bit of luck, that free kick Dlamini Akor. So you could even see where Alanka this league. Nowadays, this league is getting even tougher now, because the team they're starting to come in their own, but much more aggression when it comes to the low blocks. Like look at now what's happening in our league. How many teams play low block in football? Almost 50% the league, but I like low blocks, because they've realized the big three, Baba Kabata, when it comes to trying to match them pound to pound, and you cannot just go against a big team or Zalal pound to pound, because you're exposing a lot of goals. Because look at what happened to Golden Arrows. Golden Arrows bashatwe 5-0. Supersport bashatwe 4-0. So Supersport realized, let us do the low blocking. Let us not give them the game. Let the game come to us. Rebakabat. So again 28 alang Chiefs like ba set the goals correctly barring. If this season target overall the top 8. Top 8 by accepted the draws. Instead of losing the games, but okay, we might lose this game, but let us be more comfortable with the draws, because the draws, if we battle top 8, there are games that we win easily. So no, what we E1 top 8, that's it. We win the cup games nowadays. It's much more efficient. It's doable even for the likes of Kaizer Chiefs. So, but said that correctly. This is what we're going for, because going for the league, guys, it's dangerous. It could even leave you exposed or 10 to 15 goals or concede, because that Hodula top 3, man, it's no fun in games. Because we can't go there. That team is not even strong enough, because these boys, they've not been tested yet.
Yeah.
So can I again trade along Kaizer Chiefs, guys?
For time, Black Viper, let me go to Prasipo. Prasipo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, OT. How are you?
Hey, Nakimnati, what can I say? Tell me about this Chiefs game, man. What can I say?
Hey, this weekend I enjoyed the Polokwane massacre, Saturday, Sunday. But anyway, on a serious note, I think it was on the review show OT when I said Gavin is not going to allow himself to lose. If you saw the lineup that he started with, it was clear that he wanted not to lose that game. Even a draw was going to be something for him. Because if you check on the log, I don't think he has won a game yet. He hasn't won a game. So that was his strategy, that on this game, I'm going to play. And then I'm still worried about Chiefs and how Nabi plays, because he's trying to keep the consistency of the lineup. And at the same time, he's alienating other players like Abo Ngobo, Abo Modi, Abo Mdantsane, because they're not getting that, at least that 20 minutes or 10 minutes to impress the coach. So I think maybe against Magezi, he could try another combination. And even Mart, whether we like it or not, Mart, no, I'm as much as he's a former Pirates graduate, but no, I wouldn't play him there. Maybe give Blom that 20 minutes to gain match fitness. So that's why I'm worried, because he's not getting all the players there to play. He's only consistent with the lineup that he's playing. And it's unfortunate he was not going to win against Super Sport, maybe for the second time in 1 week. It's always difficult to play the same team twice. That's why when you check the MTN 8 first leg semi and second leg, it's always difficult to win both matches, because already the other coaches.
No, go on. Sorry, President.
Yes, and I think that rotation and giving other players the chance to impress him, it will help Kaizer Chiefs, because you wouldn't know that we have depth or not. And I'm also critical of Ntwari, I know. It's like...
before you go there, I wanted to ask you on that point that you had made. Katabaya squad. Should we worry that it seems like each team only has one trick? And that's the trick, and if the trick doesn't work, we lose. Because Supersport came out, played pound for pound or pound for poundish. Supersport tried to play different football. Gavin Hunt, they got beaten 4-0. He comes back and he goes, man, I've learned, and he relaxes, and then he figures us out. Is it a worrying thing that maybe Nabi, it seems like only Gere one?
OT, like I said, the only time you can get a B option kind of a type of a plan, it's when you try other players, because the likes of Abo Chivaviro and Duba, Abo Zwane, those are for the plan B, Abo Serino. The plan B, where you play a counter-attacking football, where you get goals with counter-attacks. Now, Gavin Hunt played defensively, didn't play Pule from the start. He played defensively. Now, you needed to break the wall. Now, that's what I'm saying. I will say he needs to play other players so that he can have an option B, that if this plan is not working, then I'm able... Like, if you check the game against Sundowns where Chiefs lost 2-1, you saw what happens when you put Dupreez. Chiefs started to play on with pace now. Now he was using pace. So he needs to give other players a chance so that they can have a second option, so that when it comes to... Because you cannot play the same way. Remember, other teams are watching. Other teams are watching you. And if you play the same way, and they see, Chiefs is going to play with that counter-pressing. And then if you close that down, then you are done. Because a team can just stay back, and then that counter-pressing will not work. Because that if you have checked all the Chiefs matches, they will allow the team to come, and then Chiefs will counter-press, either with Serino or Duba, then goal. It happened 3 to 4 times in all the matches. Now teams are trying to learn how Chiefs play. So he needs to come with a second option. I think the second option is to... Yes, OT.
For time, Prasipo, for time. Sorry. For time's sake, Prasipo.
No, it's not a problem, OT. It's not a problem.
Let me bring in Uspo.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, gentlemen, show Mr. OT.
Spo, 1-0. Kaizer Chiefs lost. How do you feel about the game?
I think I'll start with Mr. Nabi. Mr. Nabi must respect our league, man. He must stop being emotional and disrespectful to our league. PSL league is a big league, man. It's the biggest league in Africa and even South America. That's why we get players there. So you need to start respecting us. Also with our journalists, you must respect our journalists. Our journalists have a right to ask why is not playing Vilakazi, why is not touching Vilakazi. When I come to the show before he came Chiefs, I did mention Mr. OT that now we must start Vilakazi. Now give a boy a chance. So if journalists are acting the same thing we are talking about here, then you get emotional, is getting irritated. You want to do a briefing. You must not do that. You must respect our league and respect Chief supporters. So that's okay. The party we are done now. Then I'll go back to my party and tell the initial lega Chivaro. Udu Chivaro, you'll never save us, man. As long as I believe Udu Chivaro one day is gonna be our striker, it's gonna give us goal. That's the first biggest problem we have. So somehow we need to go and get a striker. Mark Vuda is window January. We need to get a striker. Then from there we can start believing that someone, if we get 2 chances per game, he can score 1 chance. But not someone or like the likes of Abonka or 10 chance and I score the next or I score 1. So with Chivaro, I think we have a serious problem. Then again, the brother Okatak Puma Manje, who show same thing with Shilo Mr. Oti over the weekend. Fitness got plum. I don't think Plum is calling a fitness with a level of Chiefs, with a level of Marty. Even if fitness Plum, he can still do better than Marty. If it's Kulmang fitness, look at Andile Charlie. I won't say isn't negative guy. But you can see the guy Uti. It's just someone a soccer player, but he's delivering for Cheaper United without fitness because of a level of Cheaper. There's no quality more than Uchal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get a player one eye with you know this player is fucked up, but still he can do better. Pepisa, Mr. OT. You can get a player one eye with you. He's below the bar, but with the level we have a Cosine, I believe Blom can still do better.
Can I ask you, tell me about the defense. Ngoba mina inking ayami is the defense and the midfield. Mara, there's things that are happening in that defense. We concede pretty much the same goal. And then also, ama yellow card ga Miguel, ngapu totally, na Miguel, they run out. Hey, you tell me about this defense. Louis Sanchez, Linda.
With the defense, Mr. Oti, I've been raising it every time as Kulmang Chiefs. Our left back, usazoba expose, usazoba Costa kakhulu. I wish the guy something go Swallows or Solomons. Because even Solomons, he haven't done a flop. I wish they can give Solomon a chance now. Spontan as Negezan. I wish to make Uba Funji is just I will say a handsome guy, nothing on soccer, dololong. I'm just giving you the first round of the league. Come second round, make a little bit of wire. Let you try to communicate and to adjust the defense. Are you going to come again? I was a player as a Poland that I was Muto. We had likes about Mashama before Aboban, but we knew these guys they know soccer. That guy in fact Ipola Aliko. Udlang structure and no go fiti, but it is Aliko Gumekel. And if I see realize logo is Sazo Costa and Liam Chitale.
Mara, for the last minute, how much of this is the players and how much of this is the structure? Because manje sesibukela ama player angena lapha ku Chiefs the defensive for example and they still look poor bonke. Is it the players or a system? How much does you blame Yabu?
Umasango the boy something with Tex Galaxy. He was not bad, that boy. He was not that bad, that boy. If we I think when Unkune was on at his peak, that one a coach he may pam work become a top player, that one. Sometimes you need a goalkeeper that you see with William Sundowns. William he can make a defense that can look proper. That's why even Bafana time William Angeko, we had a challenge. When William comes back, there was a big difference. The boy also is him taking Tikas Galaxy. I think Msimang or Masang. He can make a big difference comparing to Michael. Then on the left back, we bought to Sam. Sam was playing for Celtics, I think he went to Marisbeck United. I don't know why we bought him. Maybe we must also give him a chance because I know Sam he can give us a mark. But I think it and I'm worried to take Sundowns.
For time. I need to bring in Ongam, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you for the opportunity, Oti.
Tell me about this game.
Okay, for my personal, okay, the game of Kaizer Chiefs versus SuperSport, it was one of the games that our coach wanted to play on an up on a front foot, whereby he wanted to attack, and the coach of SuperSport, which is had a option of saying we'll sit deep and allow Kaizer Chiefs. So looking at that game, the overview of the game, the first weakest link of our team is that they have observed that our left back is quite slow, and I think the coach must find the solution of that left back. So that was another role. They wanted to wait for us when we controlled the ball over the game, control all the ball. They waited for us to slip a little bit on the left back, and then they wait for us to quick on transition. So that's one at the thing that I observed in that game. Then in that defense of Miguel and Dotley, our defense, our defense is quite slowly when there is a cutback of the ball that is coming on that side, making sure that we working on the recovery to close that mistake that has happened to the left back. So I've seen that they don't react quick to the action that has happened there. In terms of the midfielder, I won't complain much on the midfielder. I know the mistakes that are happening in the midfielder, but I don't think we have been very challenged through the midfielder challenged. We are challenged on that side. Most of the goals that are coming in our team, they are coming on the left back. I think that's one of the things that our coach need to address and make sure that that left back part is very addressed, whereby we'll bring someone that will deal with the situation of the teams that are taking us on that side. Then when we done with that side, we'll come back on the midfielder, because we are in the process of building. We'll come back on the midfielder and check those mistakes are happening in the midfielder. Then we'll progress going forward. That's other things that I observed. So the game plan of the coach was simple in such a way that he wanted to draw the attention away. He wanted the balls to be in the side of Wandile Duba. Most of the crosses were moving in the side of Wandile Duba. That was a tactical plan of the coach, saying divert the plan of the game, make sure that you involve Duba more and avoid the concentration into onto Serino. Then Serino will come as a surprise into the game. Make sure that you don't involve, because he's one of the players that most of the teams are planning for him. So I think that was the tactical plan. Make sure that you involve more to Duba. Then you shift the focus into the central corridor. Then there will be 1-2s and then 1-2s and 1-2s. Then other moments that I think the coach was planning to have is that moment of Castillo, whereby he wanted to involve Castillo. When Duba reaches the ball on that right back side, he will try to have the cutback. That cutback, when it comes into the head, that cutback will be heard by Castillo when he reaches that leg, runs into the box. I think that was the tactical plan. You go to the right, whereby you reach to Duba. Duba will try to make a cutback of the long cross, but I think the crosses were overheated into that side. They were not making it easy for Duba to receive the ball in his boots, whereby you'll receive the ball with the foot and make a cutback, whereby Castillo will head the ball and hit it in the net. So there were quite challenges that we had there and there in our forward. So that thing on the forward, or diverting the situation of Serino, make sure the attack is going on that side. So it made Serino to be off into the game. So that's one of the things that made Castillo not into the game. I think that's one of the things made him off. They didn't want to involve him, and he become off onto the game.
For
So
time. For time.
Okay, for the last
time.
part.
Very quickly.
Okay.
How? Okay, no, for time's sake, I'll take it. Guys, we're going to be speaking Banyana Banyana, then Sundowns. So if you are in the request now, rather and don't want to speak Banyana, please jump off and then we'll come back to Mamelodi Sundowns after Banyana Banyana. All I want to say about the Kaizer Chiefs, you know what I am like? I feel like at this point in my Chiefs fandom, I don't believe the hype that the players are the problem. I don't believe anymore that there's good and bad players that have been in Chiefs and some are not there. I think it's about systems. And this is why I say it's about systems. The reason why Cross looks poor, for example, is not because Cross is poor. It's because Cross is covering two people. Sereno doesn't come back for Cross. Think about how good Cross looked when Duba was on his side. So now what happens, again, if I can just explain it, you have a back four, your left back pushes up to go deal with danger. So he runs out. Now, these two have to decide now whether do I follow and to become a 3 or or do I wait for the centrals for CDM to go and cover that position? But the problem is when it's done in transition, in a counter, it's very hard for you guys to all get back into position. If you watch the Kaizer Chiefs, when we've lost the ball and we're getting attacked, Cross is too far to come back and help. The CDMs are too far to come back and help. Sometimes, and if you notice this, the right-hand side, you'll find them also, Ufrosla, tracking back very slowly. So now you find the left and right back, they're all often doing two people's worth of jobs. Ukros, my only problem with him is maybe his fitness. It doesn't look like he's a 90-minute player. It seems like he's got 50, 60 minutes and then he's gassed. But that's also because of the double job that he has to do. My worry is Central. And what I always say about Central is that we've seen the same problems that we're seeing with Dudley and Mikel. We've seen them with Msimangu and Ditlokwe. We've seen the same problems with Kimang, Cadoso, and Matoho. And for me, it's because there isn't discipline in between our center backs. One. So, if you watch Miguel loves to play ball. You'll find him running up the right-hand side to go play. He has an assist from up the pitch. He likes to go all the way to the side of the pitch. So if Frostla is up and your center back is out there, defender one. Dudley as well. They love to jump. They love to jump out. And the problem with jumping out, you can ask Matoho, somebody jumps out, and then when they play the ball in behind, then that means that Matoho now has to pick. If you watched how Chiefs used to concede goals with Umsibango Ditlokwe, I used to say it, where if you move those two from being central, so if your right back is gone and somebody has to go out, we get killed because we don't have players that. So long story short, I feel like it's a system problem and we need to decide. My fix for the problem would be stop double pivot, single pivot. Stop having two players there. Have one player, and that one player's job is to stand in front of the defense, and if those two go out on the wings, drop inside, make it a 3 or a 4. If Cross is chasing somebody out there, know that Dudley can move out and then somebody can come inside. Then you still have a 4. That's the simplest way to do it. Our two CDMs, having two of them like this doesn't work because you need a lot of communication and chemistry to do this. For them to swap. To do that is not going to work at Kaizer Chiefs. So have somebody just sit, man, and help the defense. Because whatever we're doing, I feel like we trust our defenders way too much. Anyway, we're going into Banyana Banyana now. And then we're going to finish off with Mamelodi Sundowns, guys. We have to support Banyana Banyana. We have to bring in those teams because they do so well and they're not covered much. So I am tying myself down to speaking about Banyana Banyana a lot more. And you guys know, we will do the watch-alongs and we do all that here. Let me go to Vusi. Banyana Banyana lost 5-2 to Denmark. Denmark had 27 shots 11 on target, whereas Banyana Banyana had 2 shots, none on target. But one of the things that we know is that we didn't have our stars. Hilda Machaya couldn't travel. We couldn't get Linda. We couldn't get Tembi. And we couldn't get I think Usnotolo couldn't make it into this game. They are going to be here for the England game tomorrow, 9:45. So those were the guys that were missing. We did play with a very makeshift team. They looked a little bit scared, but and Denmark took Denmark took advantage of that. So we'll see. How do you feel about Banyana Banyana's game versus Denmark?
Hey, OT man, Kunjani, Otiame, and everyone.
How do you feel about Banyana Banyana's game? Hey, mute mo, ungam.
Yeah, ne, OT. I have to say it. You know football, my guy. Yes, you just explained everything about Chiefs, but I see collab, and I'm disappointed. Someone just said, Miguel doesn't know football. He's gonna be exposed, but it's football. It's different opinions. OT, OT. Let's go back to Banyana Banyana. For me, OT, there's nothing like a makeshift team. We've got our goalkeeper who was doing wonders in the World Cup. Although she cost us in the World Cup, but she's still there. We still call her number 1.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. That's our experienced goalkeeper. I'm disappointed what she did on that game. I'm very disappointed. I think it's time, OT, to say Andile did nothing wrong. Andile lost the number 1 jersey just because I don't know what happened, but I don't remember her making a mistake. And coming to our coach, you know, the game against Nigeria when we lose when we failed to qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yes. Instead of starting with Bambanani, she went and play. She went and play Nokomatlo against Nigeria, and Juice was there sitting on the bench. What Noko did, she went and considered the penalty. That penalty took us out of the Olympics, right? So now, every time when our coach selects the team, Sibulelo Holweni, she's in the team. What is she doing for the national team? If you don't have your refilo journey, isn't that the point of going to TX Galaxy and fetch your lipstick, red lipstick? Because that's the position that we need. You can't rely on what's that lady who plays for Sundowns?
Why am I forgetting her name? Yeah, no, I know. Ubian.
Yeah, Obian. We can't rely on Biana alone. We need someone who's experienced. We're playing against the European opponents, not just anyone. Yes, Motaung she needs to be brought in the team gradually. You can't just say throw her like that. But now you've got your Fifi who's been playing in that central. She's out.
Yeah.
It's only Biana who's been playing there. You leave Nomvula out. What are you saying?
And can I ask you something, Vusi? Isn't this a problem that we've been saying about Coach Des, that you have a whole team of people, but then you keep using the same set of people and you rely on them, but now when times get tough, because we also had the same thing when Orifilo got injured, if you remember, and we didn't have somebody to play. We started playing Linda in the 6.
Bambanani got injured.
Yes.
When Bambanani got injured, we didn't have someone to replace to close that gap. So now you've got your Figile Makama, who she's for me she plays very well in that right back. But now you keep on playing what's the captain on the day I've got nothing against Ramalep. But for me, Figile is on top of a game. She plays that position very well, and then in central you need to bring on what's her name who play for you that UCW. There's a lady who plays. She played in the World Cup. She was playing with Bambanani in the World Cup at center half. So I forgot her name. You've got those players, and you've got Nicole Michaels. You put her on the bench, the poor lady. If you don't have Tembi, then start with Nicole Michaels. We need, for me, Shamase didn't do nothing in that first half. What did she do? You bring on Nicole Michael. She's got speed. She can dribble past the defenders. You need someone like Tembi Khatlane who's gonna when the Chiefs are tough. When the Chiefs are down, you need someone like Tembi who's gonna say to that defense, "Okay, let me take it alone. Take that defense alone." Yes, European teams, they are very scared of the pacey players. I don't know if you realize that Zambia beats these European teams because of Paprapanda up front. They use their speedy players, so we don't. We're using Shamase for the first time. I think it was the first time playing in that stage. She never played for Banyana. Yeah.
How do you feel about, because for me, when we play against European teams, they find it very hard to play against us. They can't play, but then they can always fall back on playing high balls. They just start playing high balls into the box, and then we start falling apart. How do you feel about that? Because outside of Swart and Andile, it doesn't seem like we have an answer. Sometimes you think corner is a goal. Is there a way to fix that? And should Des be looking into those things and not letting these teams off?
I think, true. True. What you're saying is very true, because even Sweden, we lost the game in the World Cup against Sweden. Just the same thing. But now we need an Andile who is, for me, she's dominant when it comes to those crosses. We need the Andile that's gonna say to remember. Bandile plays with Bambanani in that Sundowns team. So they know each other. For them, it's simple to communicate, to say, okay, Juice, this is what you do, and this is what I do. And Juice knows what Andile will do. I'm telling you, me and you are talking here, but those girls, they want to see Andile in the polls. They don't want to see Kaylin. They know Kaylin has been there making those errors, but she's been our number one making those errors. I don't know what do they have against Andile? Because now, if we don't have Andile, I'm telling you, England's gonna give us 10. There's that Lauren James.
Lauren James.
Have you watched Lauren James?
Yeah.
There's middle there, the one that's play for Arsenal. Those ladies, I watch them week in, week out. I watch them. I watch football, OT. I watch football. Every game I watch, is Banyana Banyana, is South Africa, or England. I watch all those games. The England, they've got the dangerous players. So
I think
if we...
Yeah. No, go on.
So, if we don't have our team, if we don't have our Linda, because Linda, she's the only one that she's not scared to hold the ball and let us play. If she's not in that team tomorrow, we in for it. Let alone team.
I think because the people who want to jump in, it's fine. I'll jump in too. Look, here's my problem, Vusi. My problem with Banyana Banyana is, I think at some point you have to realize that you are short and you can't do anything about being short. So now you have to figure out how to do things. What disappointed me about the Denmark game was how many free headers people got. So for me, if I'm coaching the team and I'm seeing that, hey, Yazin guys, I would choose Nabobiana and those players are short, let's get physical then. So make sure that they need to fight. The header. They need to fight for it. They need to make sure that we get people on them, push them, make it tough. Because it cannot be that now, after so many years, we win in Africa because in Africa, Shem, we're all pretty much the same height. But the moment we go into Europe, we play so well. Defensively, I think Banyana Banyana is incredible. I think Banyana Banyana, you watched a lot of teams, whether we played Argentina, we played Italy, we played Sweden, they can't play. They can't put the ball down and carve us open. It's very hard for them to get through our defense, even though at times our defense looks weak. But they always know that for the last 10 minutes, they can just go, you know what? We're done with this. We're just going to throw balls into the box very high, and they're going to fall apart. Sometimes it's not necessarily just about our height. Sometimes it's the positioning. sometimes it almost feels like, man, when teams start crossing, we also start falling apart. Then on Coach Des, I love Coach Des. She's done so much for Banyana Banyana. She's won games. She's done so good to win us the WEFCON and all of those things. Mara, can we have a plan B? Like, we can't rely on Tembi breaking the lines Ahly won all the time. There's times where we lose our confidence, we sit back, and then it's up to Tembi to take the ball and run up there, Ahly won, and fight 2, 3, 4 players in order to try to get our chances. We need to start developing our systems to say, this is how we play out, this is what we do. At the peak of Banyana Banyana, I loved the way that we used to play Hilda. And we knew that when we break, we'll go 2 people, we'll have 2 people there, Tembi and Hilda, because Tembi gets selfish at times. Now you can give it to Hilda, and Hilda can play a pass. Hilda is the best decision-making, I say, right? But now you want to see it with the new players. Can we do that with Nicole? Nicole has a lot of Tembi's attributes. Come out, run out, she's good with the ball, she's confident, right? And then maybe that's when you can bring in, I'm forgetting who's playing the number 9, was Shamasi. Then you can maybe have the 2.
Yeah, Shamasi.
My issue with Banyana Banyana in that game for me was defense. At no point did we look dangerous. At no point did we look like we wanted to go out. The ladies, I don't know if they were scared or nervous, but the moment they win the ball, they try play. That first pass after they win the ball either goes out or is played directly to the opposition. I think that's what disappointed me more than the loss. I understand playing against better teams, quote unquote, but show something, man. You know, even when the chips are down and now you're 4-0, play the ball then. You've got nothing else to lose. You've conceded all these goals. Then we'll see, because I need to eat their figure. Let me go to Ongama. Ongama, welcome to the show. Welcome back. How do you feel about the Banyana performance versus Denmark? I don't know if Ongama's here. Okay, it's off. Guys, tomorrow, after the games that are played, we're going to go into the Banyana watch-along. So tomorrow, Banyana, I believe, starts at 9:45. They're playing England. So I'm going to go into that watch-along and we'll just carry on watching as we were. So, Vusi, how do we fix this? How do we fix this? Because, I mean, we know that maybe physically we don't match up to some of these teams, let's say. How then do we go about playing our game?
Oti, you see now, that's where we see that Tina Sonke plays a very important part of that bench, because she's not in there now. Yeah. I believe she's studying or she's doing something. Now we are playing England tomorrow. How did we beat Italy? That's the only European team that we managed to beat. So we now as Desiree, go back to basics. Go back to that thing. Remember when we beat Italy, Juicy was not there. She was already injured.
She was injured. She was home.
No, she was still there. She's the one that made that crucial pass. She was there. Okay. She got injured with the Holland game. So now you sit there. You've got your Jews, you've got your Andile, because I will prefer Lamine tomorrow. I don't take any prisoners. I would prefer Lamine to start the game. Andile should start. Whether she's like it or not, Andile should be in those goal posts. So you start with your Andile, and then you've got Juice is still there. You've got your Juice. That's your experience. Hopefully, Linda will be there as well. Because with me, I would like OT. There was a game that South Africa played against Germany when Vilakazi was still Vilakazi. Those German guys, the Michael Ballack, he pulled them in that midfield. So now you've got your what's her name that
Banyana.
Banyana can do that. She will definitely do that for you.
But anyway,
no, OT, it doesn't matter. You totally yellow card, you take one for the team at the end of the day. That's what is needed, because you need to go and destroy that midfielder. Don't allow them to go wide and bring those crosses. That's the first thing you need to do. Let's close them down. Make sure there's no cross. The only cross that they can get, maybe it's a side pitch when it's a corner kick on, but during the game, don't just let them go down the line and cross the ball. Let's have a plan, because you've got those English ladies. They played like that English football. It's very quick.
Yeah.
Like they've got that James. She's arrogant. In that midfield, I'm telling you, she's gonna be arrogant. She's gonna show that I'm Lauren James. I'm gonna boss this midfield, and that's what she does. Even when she plays against USA, that's what she always does. So let's have.
There's something you mentioned before that. I want to speak about Coach Tina, about Coach Jerry.
Tina Song.
How important are they coming in? Because now I still feel like Coach Des, as good as she's been, I'm not taking anything away, but you're watching about Coach Tina play progressive, different football, man, with their teams. You watch about Coach Jerry with that sort of a 3-4-3 that he plays with Banyana Banyana, and the way that they build up the ball, very similar to the men. Well, last year, very similar to the men. How important are those voices? Because, I mean, we've had about Coach Shorty, we've had other people, but it seems like, man, we still play one-dimensional football.
The question is, Oti, does she listen to them? Just go to them and ask for advice? Because she's been coaching Banyana Banyana for such a long time now. She has to humble herself and go to say, you see now, teams nowadays. I'm telling you that this WAFCON that we're going in, we're not gonna make it to the finals if she can come with that same style that we are playing, because they know we've got Tembi, we've got Sipo. That's our pace. Without them, we don't have pace. So she needs to go to Coach Jerry. Coach Jerry has achieved a lot. She needs to go to Coach Jerry and sit down with Coach Jerry. Like, okay, how can we improve the Banyana Banyana team? She needs to consult all these coaches. I mean, Oti, I might be talking nonsense. Someone might say, this guy is talking nonsense. But there are people that will say, okay, this guy came with this small thing, that point that he brought here, it's important. Let me go use it somewhere else. You understand? So those coaches will give her something. No one is gonna say, no, I gave her that plan, that's why she's winning today. No, she's the one who's sitting in that seat. If she does the good job, everyone celebrates.
And that's
all going to celebrate.
And I think that's where I'm coming in with this, because I feel as though it's not to say that Coach Des must go. Coach Des has made the biggest strides for Banyana Banyana. I just feel like women's football is in such a cool place where now you're watching it progress into, like, 10 years ago, you wouldn't be having a conversation like this. You get what I mean? So now, because it's progressing, I think there's ways you can use, a lot of the people that we have in and around the football, even people like our Coach Mod with the COSAFA team. I think right now it should be a brains trust of coaches that come in and say, okay, we've seen this at Hollywood Bets. We've seen this CAF Champions League. We've seen this Sasol Regional and all of those things. Coach Des can't be alone at the end of the day, and if we want to see it progress even further, we need to go do those things, man.
Definitely, OT. Now you look at our rugby team, OT. Our rugby team, it's got so many players. Like, you can't even tell who's gonna play on the weekend. So why can't we have that? We already have the foundation of the Hollywood Bets.
Yeah.
Sundowns had a player, I forgot her name. She used to play in the left, but now she's in Europe, I believe. She used to play in the Rabu Reef or something.
Oh yeah,
She was so good for me that she could make that team at any given day, but she was not given a chance. Now you go to that Sundowns team. It's a team that's dominant. Yes, they didn't do well in that World Cup where they went to, but they've got that experience. You can take. I'm not saying they must take the whole Sundowns team.
Yeah.
Take 2, 3, 4 players from that team, because now they've got that experience that when they face the US, they know what to expect. You understand? So now we're facing England, we don't even know what to expect tomorrow. It's a disgrace to watch the team that's gonna get 5, 7, knowing very well that you can stop that, but because of the coach, she has a favorite. I don't wanna lie, she has the favorite. Some of the players they are just in the team, but they don't play. She has a favorite player.
Let me bring in Usije. Sije, welcome. How are you?
Hello.
How
I'm okay, man. How are you?
I'm good, man.
I'm okay. I'm good.
How do you feel about the 5-0?
Are you talking about Banyana Banyana?
Banyana Banyana.
Aye. When is this panel ending? I want to get to the next one.
You're born again. Hey, Samaya.
I thought it's over, man. I thought it's over.
There's a timer.
I thought you're done.
There's a timer.
Oh, I'm sorry. The timer doesn't come in. I'm just about to sell, man. Hey, I'm sorry, man. Hey,
But
I'm
it's
sorry.
fine.
Timer doesn't appear.
No, it's fine. Aye, since I remember, no, Vusi. Okay, let me see. Ongama wants to come in.
Yeah, omelette.
Since I push, we have to do this, guys. We have to do this.
Oti, sorry, can I just correct someone there? Someone, Rabulif is from Lesotho. No, the one from Lesotho is the number 10.
Yeah, Rabale.
The left-footed. Yeah, Rabale. That's why. That one I know she's from Lesotho, not Rabulif.
Let me Ongama. You wanted to make a point here. You wanted to bring in a point.
Okay, my first thing that concerns me in that style of play of the Israelis when we're playing in Europe is that we like to play route one football. We like to throw a lot of balls, and those long balls come back and haunt us. We like to plays those long balls. I saw which we can try now to build from the back, even if we make mistakes, because those long balls not working for us. We are playing maybe 10 to 12 long balls. All of those long balls come back and haunt us. So these are the things that I think our coach need to work on. And also that thing of putting two right back into the same position, putting Fikile Magama and Ramalepe in same position, same side. I don't think that thing is working for the national team. I think our coach needs to put forward-thinking players that will open the field when they have the ball, that will think forward. Because what I observe now, when we have those double figures players, when they receive the ball with the pressure, because they have that mentality of being fullbacks. They have that mentality. They say, okay, let's throw the ball away. I think these are the things that are happening in that field. And I also spoke with Nicole Michaels. I think it was a day after they lost the game. I asked her what could be the struggle, because I asked her what could be the struggle that make them feel struggling when they play with European team. She said maybe sometimes it's adaptations and also pressure of European teams. It's something like that. She said something like that. It was on Instagram. I've asked her here something like that. So I think the Israelis must try to put attacking-minded players. I'm not happy with seeing Fikile Magama and Ramalepe in the same pitch, same way, because all of these players, they come with a mentality of defending. So we tend to be playing less attacking. We become a block that plays so deep in such an extent that we are not pushing forward. If you see the last minutes of the first half, when she put Nicole Michaels and other players, we try to push a little bit forward the players of that team. We try to push them forward because we put players that are attacking minded, that allow them to eat the space that is in front of the opposition. I think that's one thing that the coach must work on, is playing the ball from the back. The first thing that is our mistake is playing the route one football. That route one football is always haunting us.
I want to ask you, Ngama, is this not maybe, King, the result of, I always say with Banyana Banyana, there's the front four, the front four and a back six. And sometimes how it feels is that the back six is just there to defend. Tibang, try hold on so that the guys in front can go score. Isn't this maybe a result of we don't put that responsibility on our defense ever? And now when we need them, we're asking them to do something that they don't normally do.
I believe our defenders are good in terms of building the ball from the back. I've seen our team building from the back. I know they are confident from building from the back. The thing that I see us playing the ball from route one, you can see even tomorrow if we play SWAT, the first thing that we do from the back is route one, and that route one is coming back to haunt us. That's the first thing I observed in that team. They play route one, and that route one is coming back. Play 1-2, 1-2, it's coming back, cross, and it's a goal. These are the things that I observed. But if we can try to build from the back and try to make sure that we open field as much as possible, and then we'll try to manage the game of the opposition. And sometimes I observed in that game, it's a lacking of experienced players that play in European football. That's other thing that is costed us in that game. The players that didn't play in European football and the height, it's one thing that I observed. The players that playing from the back, I think from now we should try to find defenders, girls that defend, that have a height from development, that play with a height that will cover those high balls, because we're struggling in terms of the height. But I wish our coach can emphasize playing from the back, because this thing of route one, it's haunt us. It doesn't help us. But if we play the ball down, we become more alive because we involve those players that play the ball from down. That's one thing that I think the coach must work on. Play the ball down, play the ball down, play the ball down. Then when we play the more of the ball down, that's where you would see the players' capabilities. But if we play the ball up, route one football, that's working. That's one point that I wanted to.
For time's sake, no, guys. Thank you, Wusi. Thank you, Ogaba. Thank you so much, because we need to do this, guys. That team is incredible, and I don't think we give them enough room. We don't give them enough focus or attention. That team is incredible. They've been incredible for years, but they don't get the limelight that everybody else gets. And guys, it's football. For those who think that it's not football or it's different, guys, please watch the games. Please watch the games. Please check them out. There's a lot that happens. And especially now, these friendlies are historic. Denmark, we're going to England tomorrow. We're going to play England tomorrow. And those are full English. It's incredible. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Rotoy Foster. We're getting into Pirates now. So if you want to speak Pirates, please request. And then we can have a conversation about Pirates' win that they got on Friday, and we'll go from there. Okay, let me see who's here, then I'll just read some of the stats, and we'll go from there. Wesh, do you want to come in for this one? Ungene late. I know you want to allow. Ungene late, Mar. Okay, let Wesh in, and then let's see who's here. Okay, so Pirates, the Pirates game, Pirates beat Amazulu 2-1. 17 shots for Pirates, 4 on target. 6 shots for Amazulu, 2 on target. Possession was 61% and 39% for Amazulu. Star of the show was Nkota. Player was only making his 3rd start for Pirates, but he managed to score a brace. Wednesday he was looking for that hat-trick. It didn't come proper, but anyway, it was very good to see these youngsters ran directly to Jose and gave him a hug, because that's the guy who gave him the chance. But I think that is incredible. Velile Mtakababa, welcome to the show. How are you?
Kunjani baba?
Ngimnandi. Ngongekho. Ngiqale nge-Chiefs abantu bebangafuna ukungena. Hey, hi. Days are dark. Uyibona njani igame bafo?
Abantu bakho bakushiye ebhendini, bakushiye wedwa la. Here there's a new phenomenon in town here. When we play in Polokwane, we mention now good it's no longer Peter Mokaba. It's old.
There's old and new. I'm just doing a service, man. Some people might think it's stadium Ganti.
And to Lalekelenkwas. South Africa kumnandi man.
Kebelile for isikhathi amazulu man.
No, makala iprofile yakhe emuva yibe kumele ubeke i-log table lapha emuva emva kwakho ungafaki ama-player kuphela. Faka i-log table lapha. Khona wonke umuntu azoyibonakala.
Ngeda.
Njengomvikeli omkhulu we-Orlando Pirates. Hayi cha. Angeke sisho okuningi. Thanda nje ukusho ukuthi siyazi musu ukuthi yazi indalo musu is-nature. Indalo iyashesha ukuzilungisa izinto manje ziyaphuma endleleni. Ngoba ngeviki edlule zile nje abantu bakhuluma bathi abanye abana depth. So let's see ukuthi depth and then in nature yayiveza masinya kodwa what's the meaning of depth? Was always argue about the depth but we don't argue about in terms of ukuthi if the players have played together for a certain period of time they get used into each other and the system.
Yeah.
And immediately when we have to try and to change that sometimes it break up the rhythm and the momentum your team, regardless of whether how many players have changed. Akunandaba noma uzoqhubeka ungifundisa isilungu lapho kusala ngihleli phezulu. Akunandaba. Depth is colored, depth is kafana.
Benile, what is Jose getting right? Ngoba as you're talking about depth and rotation, wenzani Jose that's different.
Kahle ima kahle kancane ngoJose usiyalapha.
Hayi man.
Kahle ima. Izwe lilungisiwe kule weekend ungangijahi. Lilungisiwe izwe nokuthula la izweni.
Isikhathi sikhona la.
Ayike sami. Angithi sami. Esethu unokuthula la izweni indawo kumele seyilungise. Ake sizwe ngani wena i-mainstream media abangani bakhe abo-Robert Marawa abo-Shakes ama-analysts lamaningi kumele sinibuyise endleleni. Sinibuyise endleleni niyathanda ukwenza izinto zenu mangabe izinto zingahambi ngendlela yethu. Ezweni nje bekuthulile bekunomoya. iPolokwane City iveze lento ebesifuna ukuyibona vele masinya because hey the analyst weekend they were so mute man. Bengekho that venom engihlala ngiyibona makuluzi Pirate. That hits out nje ukuthi they need to improve this and this. Hey ezweni hey lehlile ezweni liyana. They were behaving yonke into beyikhulunyelwa phansi makuthiwa hey you know what, hey that system man, no we'll have to look yonke into bekhulumela ngathi ezweni kulungile. But siyabonga amabhakabhaka siyabonga nama-support ePirate. We thank the technical team, ucoach, chairman, umndeni wayo. They will still going to look for another thing to attack us Buccaneers. We must always be ready to defend our team. Kumnyama kubomvu nje we must be there ngoba siyazi ukuthi sibhekane nengwadla la ezweni. Abantu abasijabulele sohleli phezulu number 1 bayeza. Basasimele futhi uchairman mangabuyela bamre-elect as PSL chairman uzoyibona futhi mainstream media labangani baka George Mokwena. They were going to attack us via the chairman. So sikumele naloko. That's why nobaba kaBhamuza sidile ngaye masinya. Makaqala attack and we took it as one of our own. We have to fix that car. Sazokulungisa into eziningi okuningi sokulungisa ngenduku nje. Because now even when our players are being played rough tackled, we don't get penalties anymore. Our players are being kicked left, right, and center. Abu George Mokwena, they are quiet. No one is talking. Nice. There's no, there's nothing. It's going smooth, it's fine.
Mina ngifuna ukuthi uzikhulumele ngeteam yakho man. Manje
ngikhuluma ngayo vele ngiyayivikela and ngiyoyivikela kuze kuphele isizwe selokhu ngisiyithanda kancane.
Ungayivikela niwinile niwinile. This weekend. Yekela laba abashayile man.
Laba abaphezu kwami bayangilandela nangoba uthi uyeza bayeza nabo bazokhuluma ngama-techniques and technocrats and technorate. Mina ngilana nje ekuvikela iqembu. Sisempini la sibhekana nengwadla impenzima kabi. So akeke silunge nje kumele siyilungise sase ndaba siyabonga. Abanye okudlala thina kuqala futhi kusasa. 6-point lead. Uyibeke masasibuya sicela usibekele ileague laba phezulu, ne?
Wena
coach ngokunika ama player wethu chance.
wena kushuthi
Namhlanje
mawudubula
ngikhuluma ibhola,
shuthi mawudubula udubula konke ngoba uyazi ukuthi mina no refa sihlangane nawe urefa sihlangane ngazi ukuthi abo penalty babuyaphi from wena from anyone but wena
Wathi ukujabula kuyashintshana nje mina ngeke namanje ngilikhuluma ibhola ngizolungisa ize
ufaka mina
nonke zifa ngamvunye
Yebani
zonke
na.
zifa ngamvunye bafaka ama-twitter zisuka lama ngathi pirate bathi nazo abafowenu labase-947 siyabazi ngiyabonga ithuba
okay
Yeah.
mina ngazi manang angisurobert urobert yahola mina ngiholi lapha lebegodi lebegodi
In keeping with what Bedile has just said, Mr. Uti,
Nazo?
Sitsheliwe sathi thina sifoje or we have a lucky draw.
Yeah.
And we get to play Polokwane City, we get to play Super Sport, we get to play Chippa United as an easy run so that we can get 5 points, 15 points easily than other teams. However, Super Sport has caused deafening silence here on this platform, Mr. Uti. People have ran away. You've posted the time, you postponed, you gave them a later slot, and still Mapagania had to come in, Mr. Uti, and support. Sundown and I Polokwane City, we just found out today, Mr. Uti, Dali Polokwane City Shy Sundowns. I thought Polokwane City was a weak team. They accused Ivan Khoza of all sorts of things, of rigging the league and making Pirates play Polokwane City because Pirates beat Polokwane City 3-0. But when Polokwane City beats people 1-0, Asian comes with history. He even quotes the Bible, Pastor Enigma, telling us that uNkulunkulu uthi iPolokwane City right. Angisho na Polokwane City, all right. Nice. uNkulunkulu uthi singadreami. Kunda kahle. Ube right. Polokwane City la edlule khona. I'm so happy, Mr. Oti. I'm not happy with Sundowns idliwe, but I'm happy with Sundowns idliwe yiPolokwane City. It club, Mr. OG. Lebe nyatswa. Today, like Ubedile said, the way kungakhona abantu had conspiracy theories, but your team are right. If you had lost to Angazi Mwaka Swallows, I was not gonna be satisfied. But nidliwe ama team are right. Ujesu uthi unganyatsi i-team ongakadlali nayo. Unganyatsi i-team ongakadlali nayo. Dlala nayo kuqala. And then you will see. Because once unyatsa, idemoni liyangena lapho. Monyatsa, kula ungena khona idemoni.
Hi.
Kunencwadi Mr. OT enkulu ehleli lapha ekhuluma ngabantu abanyatsa ama-team amagama abhaliwe lapho kubhalwe igama le-Sundowns negama le-Chiefs. It's your time to repent. But anyway, Mr. OT,
I don't know what to say.
Personally, I just want to say kudos to Orlando Pirates for finding indlela different, Mr. OT.
Okay. Yeah.
Eyokuthola talent. There's money. Sundowns has outdone us with money. There's prestige that Chiefs and Pirates offer, but also scouting network, Mr. OT. Our scouting network is outdoing themselves. Lately, we are outdoing ourselves. Mokabang with Pirates so we need league kanjani. You look at the roster. You are thinking, okay, we just signed Gilberto. Who else can we get? Season before last, we released Saling. The next season, we had Umaswangai. In between Labo Maswangai and Abo Saling, we had Umfuking. And right now, we have Unkota, Mr. Oti. We don't have to compete in the Sundowns and spend a lot of money. We can just hire a good scout. And I was scouting the Pirates, Mr. Oti. And I say this humbly, you know, God can do his things, guys. That guy has one eye. No spot alama play. Tina singana mahle eye two kanje. Asiboni. Yeah, he can spot talent. I'm not sure which it's one eye or ringel valeke kancane, but le out ishaya isipani Mr. OT izilethela ama-player bakhona borasibutsha, they are on the bench Mr. OT abombatha. Thank you wena Conti. Soon and very soon we will see them come in. Ngizosenda lapha isithombe lapha egroupini le nguye
Okay.
Mr. OT ibona yonke le challenge ngelihle liyi-one. Ngithanda ukuyibonga la uthi Mr. OT thinginike abanye ngi-right idimoni lingenile TS Galaxy noma kungayenzakalani tomorrow, we will remain number one. Thank you, Mr. OT.
Okay, let me go to Wesh. Wesh, welcome to the show. How are you?
Ngiyaphila njani.
Hey, today. Hi, Zindandi, Wesh. How did you see the game?
Nami ngivumelana no Aputi Kuto.
Ah.
Right. No, say right. Sengisholo ngokuba right. No man, I'm really happy. 5 of 5. Ngilapho nje 5 of 5. We haven't done that in a long while. By the time usiphuma kwi FIFA break suke out of 15 points probably suke no 8 for the most seasons, for the past seasons, even less maybe. So this is impressive, and taking it one game at a time might lead us somewhere, bro. We might find ourselves with 10 games, 30 points if we take it like a game at a time. It's a possibility because we've managed to do it for the past 5 games, and we are hoping that we're going to be able to do it even, further. When it comes to the game, my person for that game was Uskomota. He played an integral part for that game because uyazazi uyi-striker esingemnandi, and it wasn't for him to score on that game, but to say, okay, cool, tactically I will just draw in ngidonsele ama-defender abafana abancane bazowenza umsebenzi emva kwami, and that's how enye yama-tactics to use if unabantu abafana nabomufukeng and Nkotha, and they did it, he was just drawing in, asondele nalama defender, balls were played over, and I appreciated that. Mfukeng, bruh, Mfukeng, he's great, that we cannot shy away from. Gunamaranza wins a boxing, man, and you just look at the boy and uvelube emotional, bruh, because what is this? What's a time to be alive? Obviously there's going to be a bit of concern from Mama supporters in terms of squad rotation. I heard a lot of that masliwa imagesi ukuthi why squad is being rotated and whatever. You wouldn't have seen what you've seen from Nkotha if that was not the case. So that is necessary, and it helps you to know where you are, Gamma players. You know where you are, Raseboncha. Raseboncha, the boy is good. The boy is good. The boy is scared. It's a big position to fill. The boy is scared. Ubona ngama tackles awenzayo after losing the ball, that uthi I want to win this ball now and I want to win it now, and uthola ukuthi tackle ibingabalekile, uluzile ibhola sure, but there is your player next to you. There is no need to uthi ungene gaming usuthole yellow card. That means he's scared. And I will say one thing about these young boys. I was looking at it, I can see it kubanda ofana no Raseboncha or Zwane, Yomdus. They want fancy. Not every pass needs to be windy. You understand? Not every pass needs to be, a simple ta. Siyangena. Awudingi windy all the time. Sometimes ushaye windy mfethu ushayela uSkomoto umuntu obengayibhekile ukuthi iza ngaleyo ndlela. So that's what engakhala ngayo kubona le kuma under what obviously we appreciate that. It's mnandi boy, but you are trap ibhola uliphase njengekhehle uMakhawula, straightforward, predictable match, and it still works. So one thing I would say, Jose got right up until now is the structure. Finally, Orlando Pirates has got the line up inensika uyazi ukuthi mawusuke emuva ungene center uya kwi-striker who is playing and ulindeleni from those people, something we haven't had in past seasons. Besizama noma ubani, sizama, but you know, now there's a little bit of structure and that is commendable. I at least you know it's okay, cool. How are we moving? Other than that, bro, I'm happy for 15 points and hopefully we continue. Yep.
I've learned my lesson about this panel. I'm just gonna let people speak. Let me go to Watana. Watana, how do you feel about Pirates' win?
Mr. OT, hey, it's hard to see your enemies grow. I'll give credit to that Madala Rivero. Rivero, OT, if you remember, when Pirates first took MTN 8, I think 3 seasons ago, 2 seasons before this one.
Yeah.
They played with team, the other guy, Morena, who's this guy?
I think we'll get it from the comments.
The guy that came from Vert. It was team, it was I forgot his name.
But Munare, there we go.
Munare, yeah, Munare. They were playing with Koke at the back and CBC, Mayela, Shandu. That's the team that was playing there that time, and Lepers at front. But if you see this season, they're still maintaining their winning team, and they even get better. But they change almost the whole team. OT for less than 2 seasons, you've got the new whole team. You've got Mbata, you've got Makawula on that midfield. It's like they've been there for 3 seasons already. At that time, they were not there. Makawula just get to Paris last season. I think he was signed on transfer January. But it's like he's been there. He's been a Pirates fan or player for season. That's the work of the coach. I would give credit to the coach when it's due. Yeah. It's hard, but I'm giving you. It's not easy to change, especially a big team like Pirates, to change the whole squad, starting from the goalkeeper up to the strikers. Mahopa, you can see Mahopa is always raising his hands, giving a chance. Mahopa, there was a time he didn't play for 2 seasons. I even forget he was there. But when he was called, he raised his hands. He was even called to Bafana squad. And even at Bafana squad, he always performs. He doesn't talk, doesn't throw hands up when he's not giving the ball. That's the attitude that we want. That's the discipline that Mahopa. We never heard bad things about Mahopa. He doesn't talk back or complain. That's the coach, the work that the coach is doing there. It's marvelous. OT. I will give props to Rivero. I don't know what he's doing. I think some of the coach can go even on his press conference. He doesn't talk much, or he's a modest coach, unlike the Manqobas of this world. You know, we do all know Manqoba. He goes about his business. That's why Pirates is thriving, because the players that are there, they have a coach that is direct. He knows what he wants. You know the Pirates system, even the youngsters. But I'm very worried about the development of our youngsters from all. Sometimes it's a good thing that we have we have lots of youngsters that are coming up, are raising their hands, but at the same time, it's like it can be a case to other players because now these youngsters, it's like they are competing. If the Pirates youngsters performed on their match, the Chiefs youngsters are watching. They want to outshine those youngsters. Now they are overdoing it, and we saw with Nkota when he came in. The boy is still young. He can learn, and the coaches are there. But sometimes some are not gonna make it. That's what I'm sure because of this competition. That this one and those youngsters are. Some of them are friends, you see. So when the Sundowns players are not performing, the other one like to perform. Now they are overdoing things, simple things. I was worried that I was not there when you spoke about Chiefs. Watch Zwane.
Yeah.
He wants to play those long balls, even if it's necessary. There are players next to you, but you want to play like scores or something.
Time, but sorry about that.
But
yeah, I have to jump in because we've gone overtime. Okay. Let me. Sorry, Botara. Let me go to Vuyo.
No problem. Okay. Abuti!
Vuyo, close off the show for me. How do you feel about Paris' performance?
OT. Hey, I'm a Pirates. Yes. But well. It's their time, you know. If I'm being supporting Orlando Pirates with my age, I will be very excited because you never saw the team doing what they are doing. Maybe in the past the past 2 centuries, you saw Orlando Pirates doing this once in 2002. So can you imagine? OT? Even if it was me as a supporter of Orlando Pirates, I was going to do the same thing. I will be excited as much as they are excited. I will do everything what it takes as a Pirates fan, but not take it for granted what they are doing. It's good. It's good for the football, but they didn't win the league. OT, you never win the league on first round. Those are the facts. You can't run away from your. You can win 15 games, but it's not gonna be the champion with 15 games. We play 30 games, ne? So now they play 5. I think their time is done because you know, Mosi, MTN 8 is how many games OT? You can count. Nedbank Cup, it's how many games OT? Not more than 5. So Orlando Pirates fan, guys, we are there as a champion. Don't rush things. Don't chacharaka here. Don't chacharaka. We're still here. And you're still gonna play with us. Yeah, you didn't play with us, and you know very well, Guti. Umtanami esikolweni manje, you never beat Sundowns, ne? At the league. Yeah, those are the facts. You can Google if you don't know. The last time I lose, Coach Pitso was coaching Sundowns. Last time I lose in the league, OT. Yeah. So this is not Chacharaka system in the league. You're gonna play 30 games. It's not over yet. So, ungaphaphi, relax, calm down. Even the Kaizer Chiefs can catch up. Relax. You still gonna face Ahly. You still go a long way, my guy. Ukhuluma ngedebi wazini ngamadebi wena. Relax. Uzobona ukuthi sikhuluma ngani. Thula uzobona. Sometimes you must just wait. Relax, calm down. Yeah. Don't chacharaka from the Champions League. Yeah, izokukhathaza. Unana, you're still young. Sisakugruma. So stay there, my guy. Stay there. Don't chacharaka. Maya papa OT. Who are speedy OT. Yes, no matter even if you're doing well. After 2002, my sister is done matric. He done college. Usemsebenzini man. You never saw Orlando Pirates doing what they are doing. So please, don't chacharaka. Relax. Hlale back city le. Sisazodila nani. Iligi ama champion. Will cruise nice, OT. Wait for January, OT.
Yeah.
They are playing with you, they are playing with me. We will see the results. Because manje bajabulise iPulukwane ne Super Sport ngathi hey. Yes, vele baqale ngama team a weak. Those are the facts. You can't run away kizo. Bazoface ama-champion. Bazoface abo-Cape Town City. Bazoface abo-Stellenbosch. They will come here. Yeah. Ngiyabonga OT.
Okay.
Bathulile
No.
manje. Ba-right, ba-come.
Hey, no, guys, I'm also going to end it there. If you want my thoughts about these games, they are on YouTube in full, so you can see my reactions there. My brother Lindo Pep is going to be starting his show. So go from here to there at Lindo Pep, and you can watch the technical technocrat breakdown show. Tactical technocrat breakdown show. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so I'm done. Please follow. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a watch along, Pirates and then Banyana Banyana. You guys know normally the show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. But then when Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Banyana Banyana, Bafana, Banyana Bastyle when they're in the Champions League and UWC, we're gonna be here watching them live as well. So add your voice to the show, analyze with me as we watch those things, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to everybody that likes. Thank you to the gifts, and thank you to everybody that supports the content, guys. I've got videos out today, so please support the videos, man. Guys, I'll see you then tomorrow. 7:30. Bye, everyone. Nomsa. I got the same amount of time. Hey, Bara, you guys.